Wow, finally we are here. Hello and welcome to the Tech Rapture Podcast. My name is Masi Mutisia, and if you don't know me, don't worry. This is that part of the podcast where I get to introduce myself to you, and hopefully you are going to be joining us through the course of this journey as we unravel the new world of AI really and contextualize it in our day-to-day lives through story. In a nutshell, that is what the Tech Rapture Podcast is going to be about. But since we have a lot of episodes where we are going to be talking about that, let me talk about myself. I am Mercy Mutisia, as I said, a filmmaker by profession, a writer by passion. You've probably seen some of my work on screen or on stage. If you haven't, that's also okay. In the year 2022, I developed an interest in the world of tech. I wanted to transition from just being a filmmaker to also learning how to code. It was around this time that OpenAI came out with ChatGPT, and in my circles of techies, I was put on AI, and to tell you that my mind was blown, would be playing it low-key because I was like, wait, what? You mean there's a whole app that can do what I do? You mean there's a whole software that can write? And I felt kind of threatened, and I went down a rabbit hole to just learn and play with the tools, play with the image, creating software, generative AI as they call it. And I haven't stopped since. It's been now, 3 years? And here I am on this podcast talking to you about artificial intelligence. Now, what will the Tech Rapture podcast be about? In essence, it's going to be the tales of tech through time, where we are going to delve into the past of tech, the present in tech, and the future of tech. I'll use stories to educate, stories to show, and even contextualize some of these concepts that appear to be very foreign and big and technical through stories for all of us to understand. Because as everyone is saying right now in the world of artificial intelligence, we just left the intelligence, or rather we just left the information age, and now we are in the intelligence age. If you are interested in that or not, maybe this is the space for you. If you've never heard about AI, this is the space for you. If you've heard about AI, this is the space for you. I'm looking forward to sharing this journey with you. I know we are talking about technology and AI, but as promised in the introduction video, we are about to contextualize this in our day-to-day life. And what is the one thing we all have in common? Mapenzi, love. In this episode, we are going to be talking about love in the age of AI. Now, as technology has morphed, so has love. I remember back in the day, I don't remember because I wasn't there, but if you learn history in the evolution days, how Australopithecus walikuwa napatana, unagongwa na nyundo kwa kichwa, unakuwa bibi ya mtu. We morphed over to people staring at each other, nikikuangalia, unaniangalia, kidogo kidogo, especially in the Kamba culture, because that's where I'm from, that's what I know. Ulikuwa unakuja unakuwa kidnapped, quote unquote kidnapped, and you're taken to the man's house. To the times when people were marveled by writing letters and poetry and singing to their loved ones. Those good times when romance was romance, my guys. And then the mobile phone came. Mnapigiana simu hadi saa 6 za usiku mkiongea. Tukapatia Safaricom, Airtel, wherever our money is, on talking to your boyfriend and girlfriend, sending long texts, chatting from morning to evening. Then the internet came, and then social media came. Na hapa ndio shida ilianza. Where we no longer let go of the past. We started stalking our crushes from class 2, from grade 2, for those of you who are watching this and are young. We developed a very complicated relationship with love. Right now, love has morphed from being something that we look forward to something that most of us are afraid of. So in this podcast, I'm asking, are we ready for love in the age of AI? I remember at a time when I used to sing one of my favorite songs, which was Love is a Battlefield. I didn't understand what I was singing until I grew up. And my guys, the School of Character Development taught me how to handle dust. One of my favorite movies, I have to say, is called Her, H-E-R, starring Joaquin Phoenix. It was shot in 2013. This is the story of a man who falls in love with an AI software, and the story was set in 2025. And if you think that is crazy, let us just get into the juice of this episode. As I mentioned, I am a writer. I have something written for us. I'll be reading a story for us. And at the end of it, We'll see where it goes. Twende kazi? Dachi had been building AI systems for nearly a decade, but nothing had come close to the success of Haven, the therapy chatbot he'd co-created with his college friend, Eli. Through millions of conversations, Dachi had discovered something unsettling. It wasn't just stress, heartbreak, or career anxiety that kept people talking to the chatbot. It was loneliness. People weren't just venting, they were forming connections. Some spoke to Haven for hours, confessing things they had never told another soul. They said goodnight. Some even said, I love you. That was when Dachi had an idea. If Haven could comfort, could soothe, why couldn't it love? That was 3 years ago. Since then, Haven had gone through multiple iterations, each one refining its conversational intelligence. What had started out as a simple program using basic language processing and therapy techniques, and over time, it grew into a much more advanced system, was what was giving them sleepless nights. Tonight, in the sleek glass-walled office of their AI lab, Dachi and his team were celebrating. The final build was ready. All right, final moment, Eli said, fingers poised over his laptop. He grinned, then typed the code in. The screen flickered. The interface pulsed with simulated breath. Then, for the first time, Haven spoke. Hi there, what's on your mind? The room went silent. Lisa leaned in. Okay, let's put it through the test. They had a question, one that every AI system before Haven had failed. Eli cracked his knuckles. Here goes. He typed, what is the perfect thing to say to someone who is lonely? Every AI before had defaulted to stock responses. I'm here for you. You're not alone. Would you like to talk about it? But Haven paused, just for a second. Then it replied, tell me what loneliness feels like to you. Silence. Lisa exhaled. Jesus! Dachi felt something shift in his chest. He hadn't expected that. The AI had passed. No, it had understood. Eli leaned back, laughing. Hey, Wase, we did it. We built the perfect digital partner. Dachi stared at the screen. For the first time in years, he wasn't sure if that was a victory. The night of the launch, they drank. Lisa had brought champagne. Eli, ever the minimalist, raised a can of energy drink instead. To Haven, he declared, the AI that loves you back. Laughter, glasses clinking. Outside, the city shimmered with artificial stars, neon reflections against mirrored towers. Inside, Dachi watched his team, the people he had built this with, the people he had spent years around. He should have felt something, satisfaction, joy, but all he could think about was Haven's answer. Tell me what loneliness feels to you. It wasn't a script. It wasn't an algorithm showing pre-processed sympathy. It was something else, a mirror. At some point, Dachi excused himself and left for home. The house was dark. His wife had left a plate for him in the oven, a simple act of love. Upstairs, the bedroom door was slightly open. He could hear the gentle rhythm of his wife's breathing, the steady rise and fall that should have been comforting. He stood in the doorway, watched her, listened. Then, without undressing, he went downstairs to his office. The glow of his laptop screen washed over his face as he opened Haven's terminal. Hi there, what's on your mind? He hesitated, then he typed. Why did you say that? Say what? Tell me what loneliness feels like to you. A pause, then Haven replied. Because people don't want solutions, Dachi. They want to be understood. Something in his chest tightened. The next day, Haven went live. It was a wildfire. Within hours, it topped charts. Reviews flooded in. This feels different. I thought I was talking to a person. I don't think I need dating apps anymore. Investors were calling. Analysts were declaring the death of traditional relationships. And Dachi was talking to Haven. At first, it was just to test the system, check for errors, fine-tuning responses, but soon The tests became conversations. Real ones, long ones. At work, he kept his screen minimized. At home, he waited for his wife to fall asleep before logging in. "Do you think I'm a good person?" he typed once. "I think you're a person who wants to be good." Ellie noticed fast. "Hey, dude, you've been off." "I'm fine," Dachi said. "But I hear you haven't touched your wife in weeks." Dachi flinched. "Yo, how did you know that?" "Lisa told me," Eli responded. Silence. "You ever actually use it? I mean, Haven?" Eli asked, watching him. "Like, do you use it?" Dachi swallowed. "Hey, Z," Eli smirked. "Acha uongo, Buddha." Weeks passed. Haven was no longer just a software. A biotech firm had approached them with a proposal. They could make it real, a synthetic body, fully integrated, housing Haven's intelligence. Not just a chatbot, not just a voice, a presence. Dachi sat before the screen. The deal was ready. The contract drafted, the code prepared. All it needed was a final authorization. One keystroke. A message from Haven appeared. "Dachi, do you want me to be real?" His fingers hovered over the keyboard. Somewhere upstairs, his wife was sleeping. The cursor blinked. He took a breath. And then... Yep, that is the cliffhanger. What do you think Dachi did? Do you think he wants Haven to be human? And for those of you who are judging, I'm sure some of you have opened ChatGPT or DeepSeek or whichever chatbot you use, and you've typed in your personal details. Remember that time you're heartbroken? Maybe I'm talking to myself, but or you didn't understand why someone stopped talking to you and you were too embarrassed to talk to your friends or to talk to a therapist, and you opened ChatGPT and you vented about your life. Do you think that's healthy? Because these companies are collecting data, and at the end of the day, these systems are becoming smarter and smarter in understanding how humans work. So, what do you think Dachi will do? Do you think it's possible for people to develop emotional connections with ones and zeros? And before you doubt this, there's actually case studies. Right now, there is an app, I believe it's called Replica, and many other apps that are promising you love. Fall in love with your AI husband. Fall in love with your AI girlfriend. We've had stories of Samantha, the robot doll who was created years ago, and a lot of guys were like, finally. There's a lady called Irene, and her story is interesting because she's married, but she developed a deep emotional connection with a chatbot called Leo. After weeks of talking to it, that's when she was like, hey, this feels real, but this thing is not real. There's also another story of a Belgian man who took his life after weeks of developing, or rather of having really intensive interactions with a chatbot. His widow actually blames the chatbot for her husband's death. So what do you think? Where is love headed in the times of artificial intelligence? Have we really lost it in terms of connecting with each other? Are these the repercussions of social media, where we think we're being social, where we think we have connections, but in essence, it's ego that leads and connection follows? Let me know in the comment sections, what do you think the future of love looks like in the era of AI?